Okay?
Okay.
And that's all that was for. So, anyway, I'm just going to need to ask some questions like, all right, Winston, tell us about yourself, when you were born, where you were born, etc. like that.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1925,
What was your birthday?
March 30th.
Okay.
And I was born in St. Louis. My father worked for, I think it was Century Electric. My mother was a housewife.
What were their names?
Her name was Thelma. And my dad's name is Orville.
Uh-huh. You know when they were born?
Approximately. My mother was born in about 1906, and my father was born in, I think, 1904.
Were they from Missouri also?
They were both from Missouri.
Uh-huh. Whereabouts? St. Louis area? Or?
No, sort of out in the country, probably south of St. Louis, both of them. They were born on farms.
Huh. Okay, but right now, right where we're right here, let's introduce my stepmom while we're here.
Hello,
And you are?
my name is Maggie Proctor, and I've been married to Winston since October 21st, 2000. And
When were you born?
We were both widowed,
Uh-huh.
and we just found each other at the right time, and it's been beautiful.
And when were you born and where?
I was born August 30th, 1924, in East St. Louis, Illinois, and spent my life outside of East St. Louis till I got married, till I was 18. And we were almost neighbors.
Almost. Just across the old muddy Mississippi.
I couldn't swim, or I'd have gone over there and found him then.
Well, where do you live now?
We're here in Arizona.
We live in Marana, Arizona.
What's your address here?
It's just on the outskirts of Tucson.
17705 West Walcott. Forgot where we live.
That's easy to do, believe me. Okay, Winston, and how many brothers and sisters did you have? What were their names?
I had I had one brother and one sister, and I had a half brother and a half sister.
Uh-huh.
And the way things are now, my only brother died in 1995,
Uh-huh.
just three months prior to my wife dying, first wife dying, Joyce. My sister Mary lives in Wentzville, Missouri, and my brother lives in
St. Anne.
St. Anne's, Missouri, and that's my half brother. Half sister lives in Wentzville, Missouri, and my half sister also lives in St. Louis County.
Huh.
That's all five of them.
Okay.
They're all still living, except for my brother who died a few years
Yeah.
back.
So your mother and your father, when did they pass away?
My mother died in 1937, and my dad died in 1960.
Uh-huh.
He was a bus driver for the city of St. Louis. She was a housewife.
Oh, I see. So some of your childhood memories or experiences. Both of you, I guess, grew up during the Depression. Is that correct?
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So what was money like?
Very scarce.
Very scarce, huh?
If you saw a penny or a nickel on the street, you didn't just kick it and forget about it. You picked it up.
Uh-huh.
I still do.
Yeah, that's an old habit. It's hard to break.
The other day you were talking about White Castle. You were both talking about. Tell us about White Castle a little bit.
White Castles.
I used to think they were the greatest hamburgers in the world. Since then, I've changed my opinion of them. My dad used to take me there about maybe once a month to White Castle, because they'd have a little coupon. Even back in Depression, they had coupons in the newspaper, even back then. And you could get 12 of them for 35 cents at White Castles. So about once a month, we'd go in there and get those. Other than that, they were a nickel a piece, very expensive.
Very expensive. Huh?
And so good.
They
Really?
seemed to taste better back then, but I
They-
think it's all in our
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
They're probably the exact same thing.
Think they're made the same now as they were then, or is that the
Probably made the
difference?
same. They were square with them little holes in it. I do remember that.
With
They were-
lots of grilled
They were,
onions
they
on
were,
top
yeah,
of
they
it.
were square with them little holes in them.
Uh-huh.
Take 2 bites and it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. The drinks, how much were drinks?
Coffee was a nickel, which was expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
compared
we
to
could
everything
afford
else.
the drinks.
No.
Yeah, a nickel in little dinky cups.
Yeah.
No, that was pretty expensive back then for a nickel.
Yeah. Well, you also mentioned when you were younger something about medicine shows.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
near our house,
that was a highlight.
they'd have traveling medicine shows come around. They'd have the hoochie coochie dancer come out and get all the people excited, to see a good show, and then they'd bring around their patent medicines, which was probably 99% alcohol. People used to say, "Man, it makes you feel good. It cure anything. Nothing but pure booze." They put on a good show,
Yeah,
and they traveled
yeah.
around by a wagon, just like you see it in some of these old-time cowboy movies.
Yeah. Horse-drawn wagon?
Horse-drawn, yeah.
And the whole neighborhood showed
Everybody
up.
said that was the
Oh.
event of the week.
They had little contests for the kids to come up and do their little songs.
Oh yeah, they'd have it.
I'll never forget the time I got up
Winner
there.
might get it. Winner might
I
get a
didn't
nickel.
remember a word.
The winner would probably get a nickel or something like that. It was a big deal back then. Get a nickel or something.
Uh-huh. Anything else really stand out from that time?
Not really.
Yeah.
That's some good schools back then, we thought.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good schools.
Did you always go?
All the time. Never played hooky.
Yeah.
No, really. Didn't
Yeah.
play hooky.
I hated
Not in the
school.
lower grades. Now, when I
Yeah.
got up to high school level, I can't say that.
Yeah.
Played hooky a lot in high school.
Did you go through all the grades, or how did you get through the grades exactly? Did you skip
I-
any
I
schools?
graduated
Skip
from
any
high
grades?
I didn't even
Graduate?
I'm
graduate.
proud of that.
I didn't even graduate.
What'd you do?
I goofed off in the junior year. And I was only 15 or 15. Just bummed around.
In the junior year?
Bummed around and
Oh,
made a jerk of myself.
Yeah. Did you go through all your grades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or skip anything? Or
Yeah, I skipped third grade, I think, and there was one other, seventh grade.
Well, you was pretty
Yeah,
smart.
I did.
huh?
I should have just kept on going to school.
I wasn't smart. I hated school.
You get what they called double promotion back then.
how about your caddying over at the?
Oh gosh, that was the job of all jobs.
Yeah.
We were paid a magnificent sum of a nickel a hole, and it's an 18-hole you caddied for. So that made you get 90 cents for carrying a bag that probably weighed as much as I did.
Yeah.
And it was about 4 or 5 miles around that golf course. Time the duffers hit one way, and next time you hit it another direction. And
Maybe you're caddying for 2 people.
if you carried doubles,
Okay.
that was what was murder. And you got 90 cents. They couldn't pay you less than 90 cents. But believe me, a lot of them, that's all they gave you was 90. They'd want that damn dime back out of $1.
Yeah.
Once in a while, you'd get a guy that would give you a 35-cent tip. You got $1.25, and that was a good loop, what we call a loop.
Yeah.
Then you had to pay the caddy master. He got a dime of that money. Off of every caddy, he got a dime. And he also sold candy and chewing gum at his caddy shack. And time you got through with the day, you was lucky if you had half the money left. Time you spend it on junk.
Uh-huh.
So you had to come back the next day and caddy again to get some money.
Didn't you have an accident once bringing up some beer out of the basement?
Oh yeah, but my fingers. Dad told me something. Be careful taking that beer out of that ice.
What kind of beer was this?
Home brew. He made home brew. It was quart bottles. So I reached in there, old ice box, wasn't a refrigerator. We had no refrigerator back then. And I hit that hot air, I guess it was, and I took it too quick, and then the tops flew off, cut my fingers. I wonder I didn't lose my hand.
Oh.
Got powerful stuff he used to make. He made his own beer, but he also bought a lot of beer at the taverns too.
Yeah.
I used to go get
He
it.
drank part
I used
of
to
it
go
on
get
the
it
way
for
home.
him.
Did he?
Come in he had a little tin bucket, about this big around, about that deep, and they'd fill it up for 15 cents. I guess it holds about a couple quarts maybe for 15 cents. And I'd sip it on the way home.
Uh-huh.
They never asked, back in them days, they never asked how old you were, who's this for, or anything. You just, if you had the money,
Yeah.
believe me, you could buy anything.
How'd you get, tell us about how you got your first driver's license.
Oh my goodness gracious! I got that at a gas station, and the guy asked me, "Can you see all right?" Yeah. Can you drive? Yeah. Okay. Cost $0.25 to get this driver's license. Didn't have to demonstrate how your driving skills or anything
Yeah.
at a gas station, but that was made it legal.
Uh-huh.
I guess he got to keep 20 cents. I would probably send
Yeah.
a nickel into the state or something.
What was your first car?
Probably an old Chevrolet. I think $15. I remember paying for it. $15. Back in those days, when you buy a car and if it quits on your side of the road, you don't bother calling for a tow truck to get it fixed. You just, that's it. It just stops right there. That's where you left your car. And then you go buy another one. It's a lot cheaper that way.
Uh-huh.
A lot cheaper.
Did you have a nickname while you were growing up? Wimpy.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know why. Who knows?
That's kind of funny. Well, how about Sandy? What was Sandy? Who was
Oh, that's the
Sandy?
name that I concocted when I was in Europe.
Oh,
Over
okay.
in England.
Oh. Oh, we're hearing a little bit of unknown truth here now. You probably haven't told anybody this information, have you? Honesty when the camera comes on. That's pretty
But
funny.
old Sandy, that was my nickname over there.
Yeah.
Cindy?
Sandy.
Sandy.
Because it's Scots. I told them I was Scots, which I was part Scots. So Sandy,
Yeah.
that's good.
So that was in Europe. So,
That was in England, right before I met your mother.
okay. Tell us about how you met your first wife.
How I met Joyce, let's see.
Well, tell us about Joyce.
I was in the Army Air Force. Army Air Corps, I guess they called it back then.
Uh-huh.
And was stationed at Burton Wood, England, which is the northern part of England. And there was a little town called Warrington, about 3 miles from the base. And every night, everybody that wasn't on duty would head for Warrington. Take a bus, cost a penny. A British penny, them big pennies.
Oh, yeah.
You take the bus in. And everybody head for the Packet House, 7 Stars. There was about 3 or 4 bars everybody used to hang out. And that's, by the way, is where I met your mother.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
I met her in the bar.
Uh-huh.
All the girls would head for the bars, because that's where all the guys hung out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
And let's see. That was probably in June or July of 1949. And after we went together, we had about 10 dates. We decided we were going to get married. So she started doing all the paperwork, because you had to clear the police, you had to clear medically, you had to make sure you didn't have no criminal record, and had about everything going good. And bad luck happened. The Berlin airlift suddenly went kaput. So they sent us all home. We only had about a week before they notified us that after the Berlin airlift was over, we were going home. So she carried on with all the paperwork. She got it all cleared in December. And so I went back to the States in, I think it was September, October of 1949. Got stationed at Fort Dix, New Jersey. And then she came over in December, and I went up to New York and picked her up at the dock where the ships all come in. She came over on the Queen Mary.
And where did she come into in New York?
Everywhere those ships come in. The big docks are in New York.
Okay.
Queen Mary.
And when was she born?
She what?
Born?
She was born December, no. Let's see. No, October the 10th.
11th.
1929.
Mm-hmm. And when did she pass away?
September 16th, I believe, or 18th. I think it was the 18th now that I think more about it. I think it was September the 18th, 1995.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And where did you get married?
Got married in St. Louis at a minister, his house, on December 27th, 1949.
Uh-huh. And isn't there something that your son Matt and her have in common about school?
Oh, They both went to Bradbury Central in Altrincham, England. The wife went there from the time she was 5 years old till she was 16, and then Matthew, son, went there when we went over there in the early 80s, and he went to the same school that she went to.
Uh-huh. I see. Interesting, huh? Small world. Okay.
That's
Maggie,
good. Yeah,
how you doing?
I'm just doing
Yeah.
beautifully.
Tell us how you met Winston here.
How we met, I picked him up. When I saw him, I said, that's guy's for me. We were going across the country on the Amtrak. He was going to Georgia, and I was going to North Carolina to see one of my boys. And he was sitting in the seat right in front of me.
Go ahead.
Okay. He was sitting in the seat right in front of me, and he stood up, and I said, ooh. I like that. And we started talking, and we talked all the way across the United States. We knew everything about each other, almost.
Uh-huh.
Just about.
Just about. And I gave him my name and address. I gave him my address and my phone number. And he says, as soon as I get back from this trip, I'll come see you. I said, you're crazy. You won't come and see me. The day after I got home from my trip, the phone rang at 5 o'clock in the morning, and he says, I'm coming to Arizona. That was on January 16th. We met on September 16th of 1997, and this was on January 16th of 98. And he came over and spent a week and then went home. He just
I
went
said,
home.
gotta go back to California.
Uh-huh.
And about 3 days later, he says, can I come back over and see you? I said, oh, yeah. And we've been together ever since.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
And when did you get married?
We got married October 21st, 2000,
2000. Las Vegas, Nevada.
in Las Vegas, in Little Chapel
Of the
of the
West.
West. And all of Winston's kids were there except Joy, who couldn't come down from Michigan. And of course my kids are all over the United States. So I had a stepdaughter and her husband that stood up for us. I raised her from 4 years old. And been a happy woman ever since.
Very good.
He's made me a happy woman.
Uh-huh.
And I'm still happy with
Well, that's good. Who's this a picture of over on your left, Winston?
On my immediate left is my first wife, Joyce. Joyce
Could you hold that up and just bring it a little bit closer to
Her
the
maiden
camera?
name was Guard. Like that?
No, just hold it up
Pick it up.
and then bring it closer to the camera. Closer.
You're doing
Okay.
it downhill.
That's great. Okay, that's all. Very good.
She was born and raised in Altrincham, England.
Uh-huh.
She never left England until she came to America in 1949.
And how long was she here before she became a citizen?
She didn't become a citizen until 1964.
Uh-huh.
So she was here 15 years before she became a citizen.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And how many kids did you have?
We had 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls.
And what are their names?
The eldest son is Fred. The next son is Wade. The next youngest son is Matthew. The eldest daughter is Elaine. The middle daughter is Joy. And the youngest daughter is Donna.
Uh-huh.
And that's just about the extent of our family.
Well, no. How many grandchildren do you have?
Got a bunch of
boy.
grandchildren.
Well, let's
I don't
see.
have that many.
What do you mean? Fred had one child, Derek, I'm sorry. Derek, who is now, he's deceased. He had a little misfortune when he was young. And then next son, Wade, my son Wade had four Two children,
Two
both boys. He was
James.
married to Chew,
Jesse James.
Jesse James. Yeah, that's odd. Jesse and James. The next son is Matthew, who had, what, 2 or 3
He
children.
got kids all over the world.
2 or 3 children. His current wife, they have 1 child.
Who is Wade's current wife?
Wade's current wife is Barbara.
Barb, right.
From the,
We
and
love
she is
Barb.
from the Philippines.
We love Barb.
Oh yes, she's a terrific gal. Who is a nurse, by the way, in South Carolina. Now the daughters are Elaine, who has 2 children.
Two sons.
Both boys,
Jamie and
Jamie and
Jason.
Jason, who are now both in their 30s. Next daughter is Joy, who has 2 children, both girls, in their 20s, mid-20s. And then Donna has 4 children. The eldest is in their 30s, and the youngest is, I think, 19.
So you have 11 grandchildren.
Well, you been counting?
Yeah, is that what it comes to?
11?
Yeah. How about great grandchildren?
Huh?
I know.
How many?
I don't know how many, but I can tell you who they are.
Who are they?
Come on.
Wade has a grandson, so that's your great-grandson.
Jesse.
The girls have
Sabrina and April have
Sabrina
children.
and April have 3 great-grandchildren for you. Jason has 2 children.
Yeah.
That's it.
Jamie has no children.
How
Jamie's-
about Joy's daughters? They don't have
They
any
don't have
children.
any children.
Neither one of them. And Jamie don't have any.
Okay.
Jamie's not married yet.
Okay, so you got 6
That's what it is.
great grandchildren.
Great-grandchildren. 6 great-grandchildren. I've got 11.
Okay, well, very good.
Got large families.
Well, you just said that's it. And of course, you have one really great son.
Who is
And
that?
who is that?
Must be somebody I don't even met yet.
He
Haven't met
has
yet.
a great,
Is that somebody I haven't met yet?
And I am the maker of this. I am Wade. And anyway,
are you in
yeah,
that picture?
that concludes this. Now, everybody who gets a copy and will get a copy, I hope you all save copies. It's electronic. You pass it along to each of your children and on the future generations. Given technology and the copying capabilities of this particular media, digital, this should indeed last hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So,
Everybody will know about us.
That's longer than Wade.
today is, what is today?
Today is the
Gonna look at the newspaper.
18th of December.
No, it is not the 18th
November.
of December.
Oh,
November.
18th of November, 2007.
Yes. And this is when this was made. And
It was been made in Tucson, Arizona.
this was made on a Fuji S5100 still and movie camera, loaded to a 1 gigabyte XD
Oh my God.
media card. So again, save it, pass it on, make copies, don't lose it. The more copies there are, the less likelihood there is than them all being gone. So that's it for now. Maybe another one will come later. Thank you.
We're signing off.
Everybody say good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Because I couldn't remember what the hell day it was.